on how I'm going to be keeping warm and saving energy this winter. We seem to be on a ration at the moment for energy, not enforced, but by the prices. So I've written down a few things for around the house, how I'm going to save energy and stay warm. So we're going to start off in the kitchen. The first thing is that I'm going to be cutting my food and stuff into smaller chunks because that'll cook quicker. So the plus side of that little bit of extra effort at the beginning will mean that you'll get your food quicker. That's great. And also to cook multiple portions. So you're not going to be stood preparing every day and then spending 20-30 minutes on the hob every day, because if it only takes 5 minutes to warm something up, then that's great. So you'll have the same thing 2 or 3 times within the week, but it's economical and saves on all the cooking. Also, it's to buy in bulk. At the moment I am doing a wartime ration diet, and you get 3 pints a week on that. So in order to bring it in as inexpensive as possible, I am buying a 6-pint carton of milk, and I'm freezing 3 pints for the second week's ration. If you freeze them in sort of 1 pint kind of tubs, then as long as you defrost your milk in the fridge and you've used it within a month of freezing it, then it's absolutely fine. It lasts for 2 or 3 days. It's absolutely fine, and that's what I need it for. Again, rations and everything. Like, if you stick to 3 meals a day, then you're not going to be over excessively using the oven, the hob, all the rest of it, So just make yourself decent portions and enjoy your meals and leave it at that. So you're not keep flicking back every 2 or 3 hours because you're peckish again. So the reason why I've decided to do this wartime thing is that I currently need to keep my costs low. So I thought, right, well, I want to do it healthily, because in the past I've done it where I'm just living off vegetables and things like that, and it's just, oh gosh, no. So I thought, well, the wartime ration, they say that the nation was the healthiest it was ever been, and it was a ration that they brought in, which, for the most part, people lived on for 15, just shy of 15 years. So the chaps in charge must have known what they were doing. They've really worked this out and thought through what people need in order to be healthy. And they know things far better than me. So I'm going to trust their judgment and live off their ration. So that's why I've chosen to do the wartime ration. Plus I love social history, and it's a bit fun to have a go. So when you're buying the bigger stuff and then you're cutting it down into your ration portions, it makes the weekly spend a lot smaller. So you can have better quality because it's going to be eked out over time, and you're just going to have to discipline yourself not to have too much. But quite frankly, at the moment, 1.5 weeks in, it's not been too bad. So yes, so that's my reasoning as to why I've gone onto wartime rations. And you can bring everything in for £10 a week, which is fantastic. In regards to your meals, bulk up on the veg. Make sure you get plenty of veg. Also get plenty of variety, because if you're eating just sort of potatoes and fat, but just in different formats, so chips, crisps, waffles, hash browns, fritters, mashed potato, it's basically all just potato and oil or, fat. So nutritionally, on a cellular level, your body's starving. So you're just going to keep eating and eating and eating and eating, which basically means energy usage. You need to have the oven on, you need to have the hob on, you need to have the microwave on. So just make sure you're eating a variety of foods, and you're going to be healthy, and your cells will be satisfied, and that'll be all good. Also try and incorporate where not every meal needs, 20 minutes cooking, 30 minutes cooking. There's 5-minute things you can do. So if instead of boiling a lot of rice, you could maybe boil the kettle and make couscous as an alternative. Beans, they take under 5 minutes. Bacon rashers, they sizzle fairly swiftly, don't they? So things like that. And if you don't have an open fire or anything and you're absolutely freezing, and say you don't want to put the whole gas central heating on, or your gas central heating isn't working, but you do have a hob, well then shut all the doors and put one hob on. You know, I've found that has warmed the room fairly swiftly without having to have it on for too long. Just a handful of minutes, you know, and that's all good. So I'm going to take you now into the hallway. So follow me. So off we go. So my friend came round last winter and he put up this curtain for me. So it goes across the door and it goes all the way down to the floor, just to help keep the drafts out, because I live in a 1930s semi, late 20s, early 30s semi. So it's pretty drafty at times. So also down at the bottom is where you find the drafts, mainly up the side as well, which is helped by the curtain, but down the floor at the bottom. So what you can do is you can roll a towel and secure that into a roll, and there's your draft excluder if you don't have a draft excluder. Also your letterbox as well, like this. I like to leave it open for the time being because I like to have the air coming in, but I'll stuff that with a ball of wool or something, or a glove. And once dusk happens, I basically shut all the curtains. I like to, sometimes the air's warmer outside than it is in, so you like to let that in, but also you just like to let, I'm a very Florence Nightingale about it all. You know, fresh air is good for you. So yes, so I shut the curtains at dusk. And also, so this is a south, well, the south is there. So the 2 bedrooms at the back that I don't use, I have the doors open during the day because I want to let that warmth, I want to let that sunshine into the house. And then in the evenings, those doors get shut. Basically, shut every door that doesn't, to a room that doesn't need heating. So I have no intention really of putting on the gas central heating until I absolutely have to. So I'm currently heating by this little open fire. So what I tend to do is I put that on for half an hour. I let it warm this room, and then I'll open the door, and then I let the heat go up the stairs. And that tends to take the chill off the house, and that's working at the moment. The great thing about this garden room, one of the best investments made on this house, is that it's an absolute sun trap. So even in the thick of winter, it can be like, I don't know, 2 degrees outside. But if it's a clear sky, this room can get to about 18 degrees. So this room is where, and then what I'll do is I'll open these windows, and that'll let that hot air in as well. And what I do is I will dry my clothes in there, and if they still need a bit of drying off, then I'll dry them. I'll bring them in at dusk and put them by the fire when I put the fire on. This is the clothes horse that I use. So dry my clothes on that, because I used to dry them on the radiators, but I'm desperately trying not to have to put the heating on. I will put it on when there's a risk of the pipes freezing, or every so often, just to help the boiler. It will go on, but I'm trying to steer clear as much as possible of that. The wood that I use on the fire is free. My friend has knocked off some fencing panels and stuff, so I've got a bit of fencing to throw on for now. But I also have a local timber chap, and he puts out these big tubs of scrap wood that he needs to get rid of, you know. So it's a win-win for everybody. So I currently start the fires with that sort of stuff, and then me and Mummy, we go down the country lanes and we basically pilfer, we pillage fallen branches. So we've all been down the country lanes where there's been a branch that's fallen in the middle of the road and it's been chucked to one side. Those kind of branches are perfect. It is legal as long as you do not go over any boundaries, you don't hop any stone walls, and you're not tugging at trees and breaking, you know, causing mayhem. Oh dear, the idea of it. No, just anything that's fell, that's good for burning, you can put in your car. So we go and we fill my little car. I've only got a little 1 litre, but we fill the car, and I tell you, you get about a week and a half's worth of burning out of that. We take
a load of compost bags with us. So we fill with stick, and yeah, it seems to do the job. I think if you had the fires on all day, then yeah, you'd be looking more at sort of maybe a week's worth of burning, but it's all right. Now in March, yes, we heard the first of the whole the prices for the electric and the gas are going up, and my mind immediately thought power cuts and things like that. So I was aware of this brand called BioLite. I don't know whether it'll be right because I'm on the reverse at the moment, but yes, BioLite, and they are a company that have been creating things for use in Africa to help people cook meals and all that sort of stuff. And then they've made from that they have been able to create commercial products for camping. So I've known about them ever since BioLite 1. I've now bought a BioLite. I've now purchased a BioLite 2. I finally went and got one. And the great thing about it is the fact that it runs off absolutely anything, you know, pine cones, scrap twigs, the like, because it's designed for camping. But the best thing about it is that it's got a power pack that charges via a USB. So if you are able to charge your phone or anything that you need charging that you can do via USB, this thing will be able to charge. So that says, I think that's the heat, that's the fan that's working. There's a fan and it keeps everything going. And then this is how much battery it's got. It's how much oomph it can give you for charging other things. So I've also bought the kettle to go with. So I've got hot water. I can charge my phone and I can cook a very simple sort of nibble to have. So I've done scrambled eggs, I've done soup, I've done a stew, I've done a broth. What else have I done? I've done you could do a few things. Anything that you can do on a hob. It won't warm the room, but I don't know of anything else that you can do from a stove that will do all of that and also charge your phone, so that I can keep in touch with friends and family. But also, if you're bored, you can having an active phone's great, and not having to worry about it running out of battery is even better. So in the evening I sit here and I just sit with my granny blanket over me, and also I have a scarf as well that I can throw over my shoulders, and that's one of the sort of the best things really, is like, don't necessarily heat the home, heat the human. So that's what I do. So wherever you go, if you get up and leave this room, which is going to be the warmest obviously with the fire on, you're still warm, you're still okay. I'm just wondering, is there anything else I've forgotten? There probably will be. If there is any tips you've got, anything you can add and put in the comments and share that with everyone, that would be absolutely great. Really appreciated, and I'd really be interested in hearing anything else that can be done. But yeah, other than that, in the evenings I won't be watching the telly. As you can see in this room, where's the telly? There is no telly in the front room either. I hide the telly in here. There's the telly. Just because I like the old fashioned, the old style. I like to have a room without a television. It's great. And this big black box in the corner, it's just, I did used to throw like a pretty sort of sheet over it, but no, need to be. Right, so yes, I think that's about everything. So yes, so basically I won't be having the telly on all the time. I just listen to the radio. I put a BBC playlist, radio playlist on there. I listen to Sherlock a lot. Yes, the beauty of YouTube. I would be lost without it. I can't really think of anything else. No, so yes, any more comments? Pop them down below. And stay warm, stay well. Bye, guys.